welcome to February's the first presentation for 2022. We will kick off with our quarterly review, which will take us through from November last year through to January this year and everything we've achieved. So starting off, we've got a short time-lapse video just showing the progress that's been made through November, December and January. I'm sure all of you are noticing the long break at that point. That was the Christmas period. And that takes us to the end of January. I think it's a great way of demonstrating the vast amount of work that the team down here at Friary Park have done over the last 3 months. As I said, from November to January, pretty much got Block G RC frame from ground up to completion. And we're just starting on scaffold now. So a real massive effort from the entire construction team down on site. Which moves us on to our project office and welfare facilities. I know it's something we've been talking about quite a lot. It's all now in place. The site welfare is installed and complete. The Mount Anvil site team and all of our subcontractors are now working from the site welfare and office facilities. We do have operatives changing rooms and restrooms, showers. A fully functioning canteen is now open. It's finally open today, thankfully. Offering a vast array of healthy eating options and incentives for our team to maintain a healthy diet, aiding a healthy mind and obviously a healthy body, which is better for everybody. One of the great things that we do have with the canteen supplier is they do offer a work placement for somebody in the local community with special needs, which is a great thing that they're doing. So they have a support worker in with them for the first 3 weeks once the canteen is open, and from that point onwards, as long as they are okay, then that special needs person is then offered a full-time job within the canteen environment, and hopefully will work their way through the full 7 years that we're on site. So it's a great thing that the canteen company are offering. On top of that, we do have meditation rooms, respite areas, and obviously the usual smoking areas. Outside space for all of our operatives to enjoy. So just a little bit on the building wrap. I know it's another thing that's been spoken about quite a lot over the last few months. So we do have an artist, Giles Round, has been appointed. He's working alongside Rebecca Heald, the Curator of Arts and Culture for Friary Park. They're currently working on themes around biodiversity and oak trees and flora. Giles will share his ideas with the residents to expand and develop. And we are working very closely with Sustram to install a temporary bike hub and develop a strategy around the wellbeing, cycling and healthy active areas around the welfare facilities and on the green. So this moves us on to November. So just a quick run through of what we had completed through November. So Block A, we completed the RC frame up to level 1. Block G, level 3 RC frame was completed. Substructure works were undertaken on B1 and B4, and all of the ground obstructions within phase 1A, the removal was completed. Takes us on into December, where TC2, our second tower crane, was installed, which will serve blocks B1 and B4. A towering 105 metre freestanding crane. I'm sure you can all see it from your windows. A huge crane with a bespoke section on the jib, which is the long arm that sticks out and actually carries the goods and the materials. This was to conform with Network Rail's requirements that we do not oversail their railway lines. So the company that we used, Skyline, actually developed an individual piece of the mast, which reduced the size of the crane and stopped it from oversailing the railway. So again, lovely bit of engineering there, and additional works from the tower crane company. Haul road works ongoing, with a vast amount of new services being installed for your new buildings: gas, BT, open reach broadband, water mains, sewers, sprinklers, heating pipes and power. This was all introduced for the new buildings. B1 and B4 substructure works were continued through in December and through into January, and the service road, the initial part of the service road, was completed and tarmac installed. So heading towards the end of December, concrete frame was completed up to level 4 of Block A and level 5 of Block G. A little bit on construction terminology. Scaffold systems. So basically a scaffold system is a structure of metal poles and wooden boards that are put against a building for our workforce to stand on safely when they want to reach higher parts of the building, so they can complete the external works and brickwork for each of the buildings. 3-month look ahead from January through to March. Just again to give you a quick update on what we intend to do until the end of March on site here. So RC frame, through January we completed block A1 up to level 5 and A2 up to level 6. RC frame for block B1 commenced, and RC frame for block B4 lower ground floor slab also commenced, and in January we completed the RC frame for block G. Through towards the end of January we made a start on scaffolding to block G, and this was installed up to level 1 on the rear elevation of block G. Moving on into February, so RC frameworks on block A1 were completed, so this is a lower level section of block A, and A2 was completed up to level, or will be completed up to level 10 by the end of the month. RC frame to block B1, we should have this complete up to level 1, and RC frame for B4 we will have complete up to the ground floor level. Moving on, scaffold for A2 and A1 will be complete up to level 1 by the end of this month, and scaffold to block G will be complete up to level 3 again by the end of this month in a few days. Moving on into March, our intentions are to have the RC frame on the 14-storey tower of block A2 up to level 13. Level block B1, we should have level 1 vertical elements, so all columns up by the end of March for block B1. And B4, ground floor slab fully installed and verticals up to level 1. Heading towards the end of March, scaffold to blocks A1 and A2 will be fully up to level 2, and block G, by the end of March, we are hoping to have the scaffold up to roof level. Last section on progress. So heading towards the middle of March, we'll be looking to start the demolition of phase 1B. There will be an element of ground obstruction removal, which will commence towards the end of March also, and mitigation measures and protocols will be put in place. Moving on, that takes us to the end of what we intend to have completed by the end of March. Just a look back over, again, the last few months. Consider it contractors, we did achieve a slight error on that. We did achieve 84% on this, so a very reputable 42 out of 50 points with the considerate contractors. Feedback from the inspector was outstanding, and we are aiming to improve on this score next time round, which should be towards the end of this month or early part of next month. We should have our next round of scoring. Just a reminder on our working hours, so Monday to Friday 8 until 6 p.m. and Saturdays will be starting from next month. We will be working Saturdays from 8 until 1. Again, just a reminder in there, the working hours may be extended due to deliveries and obviously a national shortage of HGV drivers and materials, which we are struggling with a little bit at the moment, and we are having to overrun sometimes to around about 7 p.m. The council are notified of this, so if there is any issues, you can give the council a call, or myself or Solar, no problem at all. Contact details, I'm sure you know all of us now, and we've all introduced ourselves. Most of our contact details are up around the hoarding as well, for all of you to look at and to give us a call if you need to. We've got Head of Delivery there, Serena from Catalyst, Mount Anvil Community Engagement, Solar, and myself, Senior Project Manager, Mike Hampton from Mount Anvil. A few more of our delivery team. So there've been a few minor changes on our team. Our construction director has now moved to Jimmy Watson, who has taken over from Alan Thomas. John Hoban, our project director, is no longer on the scheme. We've also got senior site manager Darius, who is looking after all of the RC frameworks. We have head of MEP Sat Lola, who is looking after all of the mechanical and electrical install and infrastructure into the new blocks. We have got Damilola, who is our assistant site manager, who is looking after all of the external works, scaffold and brickwork for blocks A and G. Assistant MEP manager Vish, who is assisting our head of MEP Sat Lola with all of our mechanical and electrical install. And last but not least, our trainee site manager Alex, who is an all-rounder, learning and getting involved with all the different elements on site and trying to gain as much experience as possible. Lastly, just a overview there of the entire scheme, the entire Friary Park scheme, so all 3 phases. Just highlighted there, Block A and Block G, which are the first homes to go over at the end of this year. And in the background there, we've got blocks B1 and B4, which will be around about early February to March 2024, and block B2 and B3, which will be coming in again towards end of 2025. And that is the end of our presentation. I hope you enjoyed.